Hello, my beautiful techies. Welcome to K Talks Tech. This is a channel where we encourage underrepresented groups to go into technology as a career. And so, in order to do that, you have to understand what it is that you're pursuing. But a lot of times, with the technical jargon, you don't understand what they're talking about, and you don't know what those jobs are. It's kind of like hidden, it's secret. So, on this channel, in order to encourage those underrepresented groups, and especially Black women, i.e., people who look like me, to go into tech as a career. I break it all down for you. I tell you what the job titles are, what they mean, what the responsibilities are, how much you can make, what sort of background you need to get into that particular job, how to get that background. I break it all down. I talk about other tech topics too. I talk about the industry, things that are happening. Is it a good time to go into tech? What this company did, uh, where you can make the most money, um, and anything you want to know. I'm like that. I'm like your auntie in tech, right? Everything you ever wanted to know about tech and didn't have anything to ask, I'm here for it. So um, you can uh, put a comment um, in under the video and I will answer it. Um, or you can contact me via my website, which is in the description box. Um, I really want people, especially people who look like me, especially Black women, to not just understand tech for the purpose of pursuing a career in tech, but to just understand tech. Like a woman in the post office said to me the other day, if it wasn't for young people, I guess I couldn't live my life. She said everything is technology, and I have to call this one or that one to show me how to do something with the phone. And AI is here. AI is not coming anymore. It's already here, and jobs will change and jobs will be eliminated. Don't let anybody fool you. So, you know, when you see the train coming, get off the track. Prepare yourself. You know there's a hurricane coming, all right? Get out there and board up the windows. If you know something is coming, prepare yourself. And you may not, your job may not be impacted directly, but it will probably be impacted in some way, even if it's just new tools that you have to learn at work. So we're going to do all of that on this channel. We're going to have a good time doing it. Um, I also offer coaching. Again, you can see all about that on my website, but I offer workshops, I offer one-on-one coaching. Um, I'm working on some video coaching where you can, watch the video on your own, and you don't have to wait for a session to be scheduled. I work with individuals. I work with content creators and small companies. I offer, I also offer consulting. I am a full-time enterprise consultant, but I also do small business consulting. So when you need some help in tech, you can reach out to me, right? If you want to transition from some career into tech, I can help you with that too. And I'm going to tell you the truth, okay? And I'm going to map out a plan for you that works for you right down to the scheduling, okay? And I can do that in a single session. So I'm here. I'm also known as That Sis in Tech. And I kind of got that name because that's what people call me because I was the only person. So if you say, oh, that Sis in Tech, you knew it was me. So welcome. I'm Kay, aka That Sis in Tech. Let's talk tech. Today, I want to talk about the jobs economy. And, I've been trying to figure out how to approach it. So first of all, there's a white collar recession, right? And so tech jobs are part of the white collar community, and white collar are all those professional jobs that pay well, right? So they're calling this a vibe session. So what they mean by that is all the standard indicators indicate we are not in a recession. So unemployment is down, so forth and so on. But white collar jobs are not nearly as plentiful as they were. And those are the jobs that can be done from home. So I think it's connected. Um, the blue collar jobs are typically something you have to be in person for. Um, and of course, the remote work war has been ongoing for some time. Employers are like, okay, you don't want to come back to the office, so we're not going to hire anybody, and we're going to put you in a state so that you're desperate if you're unemployed. But the problem is, um, not a lot of people, the people that they're targeting with that are the people who already have jobs. And so now there's some layoffs, right? Uh, and I sigh like that because companies keep doing this. They hire a bunch of people, they fire a bunch of people, and people are saying, oh, they did all the hiring and, they shouldn't have. It was too much, and now they have to let people go. I think they do it on purpose. I really do. A layoff is a great time to get rid of some employees that are not cutting the mustard or you just don't like or whatever reason it is. Um, what I typically see is people fired that are making too much money, and I've heard it said, oh, we have to let so and so go because their rate is too high. And sometimes that's not just consultants. And we rehire at a lower salary of people who know the new technology or will not push back against what we ask them to do, that sort of thing. So, what are you going to do? Get on social media and start your second stream of income. That's what you're going to do. Or uh, or whatever you can do, whatever you can build to have a second source of income. And so I was watching a video from Tony Robbins today. And so he was saying, set your goal, put your mind to it, and don't give up, right? And that's kind of always been who I am. But I think I just needed to be reminded of it. So now I'm reminding you. Because this economy, like, we have these employers jerking our chain all the time. Oh, we hired a bunch of people. Oh, we laid a bunch of people off. Oh, we hired some over here. We laid some over there. Laid some off over there. We all need to get to a point where if we're working for someone else, we have other streams of income so that if we get laid off, it's not a devastation. I don't think it's good enough anymore to just have so much in an emergency fund. And of course, you do need your emergency fund, but you also need some stream of income. So, one thing Tony Robbins was saying is, which really, really kind of impressed me. He told the story of someone he knew who was a UPS driver, never made more than $14,000 a year, but that person had a friend who said, we're going to take a percentage of your income and we're going to invest it every time you get paid, no matter what. And he said, I only make $14,000 a year. I can't afford that, blah, blah, blah. He said, you know what? You'll have to get used to the reduction. I think it was 10%, he said. You get used to the reduction. Um, and your investments will be compounded, and that person retired with $70 million and gave away 35. Yeah, so you don't always have to get out there and make the money. You can invest it. Now, I'm not one who likes just gambling their money away, which is what I consider investing. But there are ways to wisely and invest your money and be comfortable with not losing it. Okay. So what you want to do is invest so you don't lose money. And listen, I don't know anything about investing. I'm just telling you what Tony said. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you something that makes sense to me. Okay. And I've done some of this too. And I haven't done it on as large a scale as I would like to, but I will after seeing this video. And he was just saying that, he's writing this book and he got this information from, Tony Robbins. He's going to talk to the heavy hitters in the financial game. He talked to Warren Buffett. If you don't know who that is, look it up. His name is spelled like buffet. You can look it up. With I think it's two T's at the end. I'm not sure. You put in Warren when you get the buff. Before you finish spelling out buff, it'll come up who he is because he's famous like that. So anyway, he said you take 50%, you put it in what's considered traditional safe investment, and then 25% in maybe something a little riskier, and then 25%. I forgot what he said to do with the other 25%, but um, I like the way that he broke it up so that you're not taking a high risk, right? But you do want to get some return. Um, so if you want to ever get to the place where you can be financially free, you have to do some investing. And sometimes that means you might need a second job to invest. That's the one thing that I feel like I've missed in my life. If I could speak to my younger self, it wouldn't be just buy Microsoft or buy Apple because I was there when it was all happening. It wouldn't be just that, it would be invest your money more. So that's a little bit of life advice. Now, to get to the specifics of what I wanted to talk about, there's so much there. I think I might have to do a few videos with continuations because I don't want to overload you. Okay, so there's good news and there's bad news. Um, I want to start with the bad news. The bad news is the white collar recession, right? So, um, let's look at some articles on that can help explain what's going on. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay, so now this, uh, so I went to get an article to show you, and that article is quoting my other article. Um, let's see. Right, so let's go with this one. Okay, so let me just show you this Business Insider article. Okay, this is welcome to the white collar recession. The more you earn, the harder it is to find a job right now. Okay. Um, just give me a minute. My eyes bother me. Okay. So people are saying, the job market is brutal. I see that a lot on LinkedIn, right? And I'm experiencing some of it too. It's bad, right? At the same time, unemployment is near a 5-decade low. Okay, the economy is adding all these jobs, but Why are people talking about the economy or the job market is bad? So apparently there's a two-tier job market. There's a blue collar boom and a white collar recession. Okay. If you make less than 55,000, the hiring rate is good. But if you make more than 96,000, hiring is 0.5%. Okay. Um, and it's the second worst since 2014. If you make a six-figure salary, it's a really bad time to be looking for a job. Okay. And here they are with a graph, right? And by the way, if you were a data analyst, you could create this. However, data analysts are white collar workers. But there's hope. So let me finish, telling you about this and then I'll give you the hope. Okay, here's a white collar slump. The bottom third of earners is the blue line. The top third of earners is the orange line. What's the point? The blue line is much higher than the orange line. Okay? So why? Well, it might be that the industries that are struggling the most, tech and finance, are the ones that employ a lot of high earning professionals, which is true. Or it might be the CEOs are making good on their threats to cut back on what they see as corporate bloat. What Mark Zuckerberg has called managers managing managers, managing managers, managing managers, managing the people who are doing the work. That's true too. But the people who are doing the work are also white collar workers, okay? Uh, in some cases. But there could be a bigger, more worrisome explanation. Companies are anticipating tough times ahead. Yeah, I don't really think that's it. The more you earn when budgets are tight, the less an employer wants to hire you, which is true. Um, Pulling back on expensive workers will reduce costs to a great extent than pulling back on your lower income workers. This is true. Now, you could argue that slowdown in white collar hiring doesn't really matter in the current economy, even for white collar workers. All right, there aren't that many people who actually need a new job. The unemployment rate for people with a college degree is 2.1%. And people are able to keep their jobs. It may be okay that company, with people being able to keep their jobs, it might be okay that companies aren't hiring. But what if the job you have is one that you hate? Well, now some people are calling this the big stay. So, suggesting a kind of equilibrium after the chaos of the Great Resignation. Um, she says her colleague, the writer says her colleague has a better name for it, the trapped in place economy. So you want a better job, you hate your job, you want a better job, you probably can't leave right now. Which brings me to one of the points I want to make is this a good time to get into tech? I would say it's a good time to study tech. It may not be a good time to move. If you're moving from something else, you have to make sure that wherever you're trying to go is going to be sustainable. And there are places and factors that can help you with that. And I'm going to talk about those too, but maybe in another video, maybe a part two video. So this is what people are calling the vibe session. That's a weird feeling of being in a recession, even though all the standard metrics show we're not. Okay. Um, and then if you're an elite professional, things could get worse before they get better. He says someone is saying here, don't expect a full-on recession anytime soon, but people with advanced degrees, master's degrees, and doctorates, they're not exactly struggling, but the hiring is headed in the wrong direction for them. And AI tools increasingly encroach on professionals' tasks, writing, coding, coordination, analysis. So there's that to think about, right? Um, this isn't a story we're used to hearing about employment. For decades, the economy has been leaving workers with lower incomes and less education behind, while professionals reap all the gains. But now it's the other way around. So um, he's saying they're having some trouble collectively digesting that, and something about resentment. Why would you resent other people because they're employed? That's silly. Okay. Even if there's no big surge in layoffs, people are just going to get grumpier and more dissatisfied. And if it continues 3 or 4 more years, it's going to cause a lot of discontent and low morale in corporate America. This is true. Okay, so that's all I want to say about the white collar recession right now. Um, I think I'm going to make a part two and maybe a part three because there are other things that I have to talk about in this, and it's too much for one video. So that's White Collar Recession Part 1. And thank you for being here, and I'll see you soon.